G'day YouTube. We've got a new toy. We've got a battery angle grinder, Makita. DGA452Z is the model, or thereabouts. It's a battery angle grinder made by Makita. We got it for $99. This is what it looks like before. You try and put the disc on it with your tools sitting next to it, and that's what happens afterwards. It goes everywhere. Yeah, bits and pieces come out and can't help but tinker. Videos inspired by Arduinoversusevil. Watch his channel. He pulls apart many other drills and wireless tools and stuff. Switch mechanism goes like that, in there somewhere, like that, maybe up here. Got to push down and push forward, and then that turns on your little heavy duty switch. Let's see if we can get the camera to zoom in. Come on. Anyway, it's heavy duty switch. It's quite good. Heavy duty wiring. We've got some magic happening in this little box just here. It's all sealed, so I can't see in it. I'm not willing to pull it apart. You got the brushes. You got the wires into the motor for the brushes. There's a brush there somewhere. If I don't miss any of these parts. I just have to shake the kangaroo skin off. Yeah. So there's one of the brushes, brand new. You can wear it down to that. As per this manual, you can wear it down to that mark just there. So there's a fair bit of wear there. I don't think I'll ever wear this out. Anyway, onto the brushes, which goes onto this bit. I've forgotten the name off the top of my head. Then goes into your armatures, and this is the rotor. That's the stator. Stator's got a fixed magnet in it. 2 poles. You can pick up screwdrivers and stuff with it if you feel like it. And that just slots in there like that. And then that spins nice and free. And then that spins into here, this is the head of the grinder. I did get the disc on before I pulled it apart, if you just want to know. There. And there's a little gear there. And you stick it in. Now I have to work out how to get it back together. I've had experience with one of these angle grinders before at work, and this one is for work. Yeah, I ground with it all day and replaced the batteries because they get kind of hot and that. So, but after you replace the battery with the cold battery, it keeps on going and cutting all day long. Like this old brush technology, replace the brushes, you can clean it. There was no security seals to pull this apart. I just undid some screws. I wouldn't recommend it yourself unless you know what you're doing, of course. But it's your own problem if you pull yours apart. Now to work out how to get this in there, and then that in there, and then that on there, and then that on there, and we'll get it going. Right, we just managed to slot all this back in. When I was pulling it apart, you sort of pull one bit and it all just falls apart. But very easy to put back in. If anyone wants to know, there's the guts assembled. We'll switch here. Turns that little other switch there. Oh, you got to press it down. Oh, there we go. Broken again. Anyway, you can see that there. Nice heavy duty switch. Like that a lot. No electronics to break apart from maybe this electronics. Even then, you could probably quite easily wire that to that and it would just work. There wouldn't be any battery protection. Next, what we do is we try and avoid the hair of and get this around the right way. Whenever you're pulling this stuff apart, make sure you put witness marks on it. I just happen to know which way this goes. Stick the stator, put the rotor back into the stator, sort of sucks itself back in there. And then we stick this one on here, like that. And then we do some screws up. And then we put this on. This almost falls off after these 4 screws come off. Try not to touch the grease when you're putting this stuff back together. try and remember where the screws go. In this case, there's short screws and long screws. Short screws go in here. These 4 or 5 holes there, and your long screws go back down into the casing here from the end of that side. Yeah, smoking. Oh, there we go. I need to get that around the right way. Now it's around the right way. I want to put this back together, and we'll go from there. Now, because it's pretty sure it's back together, we'll put one of these. There we go. Brushes. Put the brusher back into its place. That pops off, falls on the floor, never to be found again. And we put this in here like this. So we just stick that in, and as we do this, get in close. This is a brush. It can be replaced apparently. As we do that, we're going to make sure that it's either side there sort of holds itself in. With any luck, maybe. So here we go. There we go. It's in. Get ourselves a cap. Goes on there to stop it from falling out. Twist on cap. Now when you do put this back together, you're going to have to make sure you pull the brushes out, because you won't be able to push the rotor back in to the other bits in here. Yeah, just pull these out and then put them back in. And you just tighten that up. Get yourself a screwdriver. Tighten that up, don't go too crazy because it's only plastic, it'll strip the threads. We found the bit again, put that on there, hit it or something, it'll go back in, should be right. Put these screws back in and we'll fire it up in a minute. Right, so we put all those screws back in, now we've got to get this one back on. It seems to spin alright. Now theoretically I suppose you could orientate this however you want it. You know, maybe you wanted the switch underneath for some reason. I'm sure you could sort of, you know, just put it on. Oh, there goes the screw. Hypothetically, excuse me. Hypothetically, you could put it on like that. It'd be stupid because you cut your finger off, but you could do it. Or if you wanted to make your angle grinder operate like that, maybe that might be useful if you're right-handed. I'm just going to go with how it came. Find some of these screws. Oh, more on the floor. I think that's 3 out of 4 I dropped. Yeah, 3 out of 4. Sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place. Now when you put these screws in, be careful. Bloody micro, shut up. Technology. I like these brushless motors. These screws, they're quite, the thread is designed to cut into plastic, so make sure you twist them back before twisting them on. Can you get one in there somewhere? Here we are. Yeah. Yeah, we just get the appropriate size screwdriver and do them up. Just got to make sure it just sits in there right. You don't want to be cutting a new thread or cross-threading it all the way. There we go. And down she goes. I'm going to do this and we'll turn it on. Right, we managed to coerce this back together. Doesn't sound like there's anything scraping much. We'll find out in a minute. Now, these old batteries, they're not the same as the new batteries. They look the same, but they're not. This one's got a star. So it doesn't got a star. This one won't work in that grinder. That's it. That's as far in as it goes. You can't put it on. They changed it. You could buy new batteries. Sorry about that. I did. So it flashes. Well, it just flashed. Let's see if it turns on. Moment of truth. Hey! We can pull something apart and put it back together. Now these batteries have a security on them, so I can't pull them apart. without voiding the warranty. In there, that screw there doesn't have one of this little white thing. You can't get it out. I've tried. Not worth it. 3-year warranty. I'm not going to break it. But the good news is it's easy to pull apart and easy to put back together, meaning you can get in here with the air gun and clean her out. Lovely. Alright guys, that's what happens when you try and put the wheel on a grinder next to your toolbox that you haven't pulled apart of that grinder. You know what I mean. Thanks for Arduinoversusevil's idea of pulling it apart. I would have pulled it apart eventually, but I recorded it to show you guys. Yeah. No, I can't do it. It's upside down. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and have a good one, guys.